Okay, when you're solving systems of equations using substitution, okay, solutions to systems of equations can be found using algebraic methods. One of those is substitution. Okay, so we're going to solve this system of equation using substitution. Y equals 3 times x, and the equation x plus 2y equals negative 21. Now, this one's quite easy because we already know that one of the variables equals 3x, so y equals 3x, which means we can take this right here and substitute it into this equation for y. So what I'm going to do is, since y equals 3x, we can replace the 3x for the y in the second equation. I'm going to write that out right now. X plus 2 times 3x equals negative 21. Now, using this equation, we can go ahead and solve for x. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to rewrite it so that I'm showing all of my steps. And I found that x equals negative 3, okay? Now I'm not quite done yet, because what I need to do is take this negative 3, take this negative 3, plug it back into the x in either of my original equations in order to figure out what y equals when x equals negative 3. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'll have to move my paper down. But remember that one of my equations was y equals 3 times x. And you can actually do this with either equation. I just chose this one because I did. I'm going to plug in the negative 3 where the x is. So y equals 3 times negative 3. Well, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Therefore, y equals negative 9 whenever x equals negative 3. So our solution down here is negative 3 comma negative 9. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and try another one. Now, we're going to solve the system of equation x plus 5y equals negative 3 and 3x minus 2y equals 8. Now this one's a little bit more difficult because we don't have x equals or y equals. Both the x and the y are within the meat of the equation itself. Okay, so we're going to solve one equation for either x or y. In this case, solve the first equation for x since the coefficient of x is 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve x plus 5y equals negative 3. We're going to try to solve it for x. So what I want to do to solve it for x is move, where are my other colors? Here we go. Is move the 5y over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 5y. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. This leaves me with x equals negative 3 minus 5y. Okay? Or I could also write this as x equals negative 5y minus 3. Either way works. Okay? Now, I'm going to find the value of y by substituting negative 5y minus 3 in for the x in that second equation. So I'm going to rewrite the second equation, but instead of x, I'm going to write in negative 5y minus 3. So that the second equation is 3x minus 2y equals 8. Okay, I'm going to plug this in right here for the x. So 3 times negative 5y minus 3 minus 2y equals 8. I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So that gives me negative 15y minus 9 minus 2y equals 8. I'm going to combine my like terms, negative 15y and negative 2y, to get negative 17y minus 9 equals 8. I'm going to go ahead and add 9 to both sides, which leaves me, I'm going to move my equation up over here. So that leaves me with negative 17y equals 8 plus 9 is 17. Yes, 17. Okay, then I'm going to divide by negative 17. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. That leaves me with y equals 17 divided by negative 17, which is negative 1. Okay, so I'm not done yet, but I know that the solution to these two systems of equations is when there's a negative 1 in the y position. So now what I need to do is find the x position. So I'm going to substitute the y value into one of the two original equations. Hint, choose the easier one of the two to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the first one. Okay, so I'm going to put in the negative 1 anywhere where the y is located. Then I'm going to go ahead and solve. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. That cancels that out. And I'm left with x equals 2. Okay, so now my solution is x is 2 when y is negative 1. Okay, all right, we're going to move on. We're going to skip these two because I want to do those two with you in class. Okay, we're going to move on to these U tries. I actually want you to go ahead and try this one. I've left an answer key for you guys up on the front board in a manila folder. So go ahead and try 1, 2, and 3 on your own or with each other, and then you can check your answers using the answer key.